Hi, I'm Matt of Matt.Earth. I'm not big into films, but in 1999 I watched The Matrix and enjoyed it, and then forgot about it. 20 plus years later, I learned or became aware of a swell of people in various groups talking about an advanced energetic matrix which is controlling the Earth. And that this energetic matrix is in a state of demise, it's being removed, it's leaving the planet. This caught my interest as earlier in my life, actually back in 1999 and on a number of occasions since, I've had some very profound and unique energetic experiences which cannot be explained to most people. The experiences I've had defied the laws of science, logic, reality, and belief. In many cases, these experiences have left me with significant injuries, damaging me in the moment or injuring me such that I've been wounded for considerable time afterwards, damaging my finances and therefore impacting my family and my non-profit organization, etc. What I'm describing here is a very dark, twisted, evil energy at work. And I know this energy exists. I've experienced it throughout my life, since early childhood. And it seems many other people know it to be true, yet it's very poorly understood. Also, as a result of the injuries that I've sustained in those experiences, at times I've been left deeply traumatized and/or confused over what has happened. I've also been put very much on the back foot because I was catching up from not being able to work or not earning as I normally did. Plus, all the challenges and fallout of injuries or damages to my life. I can't emphasize how nasty and evil this invisible energy is. Describing invisible energy to everyone is tricky because many people don't have any awareness or appreciation or understanding that one or more invisible energies are at work all the time. At opportunistenergy.com, I've described some information about the matrix energies and the agenda of those energies, including wanting to control, influence, and manipulate a lot of human behavior and actions and our interactions. The energy is very clever. It can create synchronicities and many events and things which might seem impossible or miraculous and may be attributed to God or religious or spiritual experiences. As a result, I dug deeper wanting to understand my own experiences, some of which are extreme, and then also other people's experiences. Silenced as a child, I've also spent most of my life observing rather than communicating. I came to realize that this energy is working all over the place in very sly and cunning ways. I learned it has avoided detection for a number of reasons, including that it originated before our sciences were established, such that it's allowed us to create the scientific system we have and keep itself beyond the foundations of our scientific processes and inquiry. This evil matrix energy has also limited or controlled our minds and imagination to prevent its own detection. I know this from some of my own completely bizarre beyond the matrix experiences. Essentially what I'm saying is that our best science is significantly thwarted, and I suspect that this view is shared by a few, but obviously most scientists who feel they've studied hard and tried everything will obviously have great difficulty in understanding or agreeing with what I'm describing. And at the same time, my lived experiences have defied science. I've shared some of these experiences, and there are many others which are unexplainable. On my website, I have a page which is Matt.Earth, Matt with triple T, /unexplainable. This webpage describes the challenges of explaining events which seem and were at the time beyond impossible. I'm very confident as the current event continues to unfold and the matrix collapses, it will soon become very apparent to everybody in the world that these invisible forces have been working and manipulating and controlling us and all other humans for many thousands of years. What I'm describing may be hard to comprehend, but as a scientifically viable example, I can describe that the esteemed Dr. Stephen Greer, who has worked with US presidents and high-level officials in the military, has been describing that today there is an international, nefarious, malevolent group that are using advanced sciences which are attempting to steer and control society. These advanced sciences and technologies were gained through a process of shooting down UAPs and UFOs and reverse engineering them. As a result, Dr. Greer reports that this nefarious group have technologies dispersed around the world which are far beyond the science and technologies of our most sophisticated national military level, and this group is acting in malevolent and self-serving ways, attempting to control all people on the planet. What I'm illustrating here is that this group are utilizing sciences and technologies which include incredible feats of speed and anti-gravity and invisibility, which are far beyond our normal, most advanced scientific understanding. While only recently there have been an increase in brave whistleblowers leaving this nefarious group, the group has been operating for a long time. I use this little example simply because it highlights the limitations of modern scientific thinking, and Dr. Stephen Greer and others associated are very well esteemed and respected by many. But I have my own experiences which occur in a lot of different areas far and wide. These also demonstrate impossible things from a science, logic and belief mindset. They also highlight a deeply malevolent and malicious invisible energy meddling with people and things in our 3D world. Another interesting example is that a US military base had a series of UAPs and UFOs fly in and hover above their military. These alien ships then disarmed the US military's best alarm systems and defense systems. This prevented the US military shooting at the alien ships. This story is likely covered in many places, but I've seen it on the National Geographic YouTube channel, which had or may still have an interesting series about the UFOs and UAPs. This example also appears to demonstrate other more advanced scientific knowledge coming in from other parts of the universe, and this science and technology appears to work in vastly superior ways than our own limited science and understanding. These examples also highlight that one or more parties have infiltrated and or started working with those technologies, and that these scientific leaps are perhaps 100 or 1,000 times ahead of current general science. Also, as I've explored and studied to try and understand some of my experiences in both physical and mental health, I found that a lot of our science has significant limitation. I gather from a number of different sources that science has many different controls and barriers that protect or limit science from creative thinking. The availability of funding greatly limits young scientific minds. Scientists can be cajoled away from their instincts in order to fit in. More experienced scientists may face their credibility and professional standing ruined if they challenge older established science. Of course, there are exceptions, and many great scientists make it through these challenges. But my takeaway is the overall scientific regimen is locking humanity in sly ways to protect itself. Science isn't as free and open as one might expect, and the mass consciousness of science and society has deliberately moulded and sculpted our development, with matrix energy leading mass consciousness and meddling with individual scientists and the wider society as a whole. Yesterday I saw a post talking about spirituality and science and how the two are related or separate. My experiences find that spirituality is vast and endless in many ways, and I believe that all our sciences are created and controlled by matrix energies. I see the matrix energies wanting and working to integrate or bridge spirituality with God and science, but it's my learning that the matrix energies have created our notion of God, the many religions, and created our sciences. My experiences show that God, religion, and some parts of spirituality are extremely dangerous as they instill beliefs and consciousness which was designed by matrix energies to distort and mislead us. Another very important point, which I feel is not widely recognized and needs to be better understood, is that many people don't consider that humans are vessels. I will share a post called Doves and Bats another time. But in short, if we think of humans as a little bit like an autonomous car, i.e. an electric self-driving car, we have an amount of ability to do the things on our own, but with some kind of driver within us, i.e. the full presence of an energy or spirit, increases our productivity and our capability changes. I suggest at any point in time we are surrounded by perhaps billions of different energies and spirits, many of which may come from the same one or two or more sources. These energies can inhabit us and help us in good ways or hinder us in other ways. The divine, or divine nature, is our natural energy I recognize as the original source of creation. The divine is constantly looking to grow and develop us and love us and give us good times for ourselves and for others and for the planet. And in contrast, the matrix or opportunist energy are constantly trying to do the complete opposite. They're trying to block, hinder, stifle, confuse, disorientate, distract, bewilder, traumatize, and disempower humans such that they are not a threat to the matrix. And it's worked for a very long time. The matrix may have started as a smaller energy, but it has grown in attempts to spread like a parasite. I suggest and observe that opportunist energy is within us all, every human on the planet, to some extent, and controlling our choices, thinking, and actions. It doesn't matter what religion you are or whether you're spiritual or atheist or not. These energies are working through every single person in the planet to drive us to different goals and agendas. The divine leads us towards goals of love and growth and positivity, while the opportunist energy is seeking to destroy and decimate nature, as by attacking nature, the stronger it becomes. And that's what it's been doing, and why our natural home planet, which was and still is a paradise planet, is being decimated. While it appears humans are causing these problems, my learning and experiences demonstrate clearly there is another layer of energy beneath humans or underpinning humans. Humans are the potential solution to all these problems I describe, by increasing their consciousness and awareness of what has been happening. While we might finger point and accuse certain people, groups, or companies of destructive choices, as I described when I called us vessel, it's this lower layer matrix energy which our scientists don't even detect that is working through humans. There's been a very low-level energetic war occurring for a long time between invading matrix energy and Earth's natural divine energy. I unexpectedly learned about all of this primarily during my very profound Kundalini spiritual awakening. At that time, I crossed the veil, or got beyond the matrix, and at that point was given a huge amount of learning and many mind-boggling and miraculous experiences which defied all thinking. These matrix energies are attempting to run and control all people, science, religion, and programming us to behave in ways which make us easier to manage, by limiting our thoughts, our abilities, and strategically injuring us all and traumatizing us. They also want to disempower us in many ways. This results in the matrix society we've been living in, which is one of combat or hostility between all people, when there's a lot more in common between us all than the differences that we've generally seen and been taught. Now, all of this stuff goes back far beyond my or our lifetimes and previous generations. Last year in the spring of 2024, the Divine advised me that this unnatural energetic matrix was established at the time the Egyptian pyramids were created. I have a large story which I will share another time about how some key events occurred. If you're familiar with Nikola Tesla, you may know that Tesla obtained and utilized technology from the pyramids to create a system of transferring electricity over the airway. Tesla's work demonstrates the pyramids are capable of transferring energetic waves across an area. While there's great mystery about the pyramids, it seems they were built on natural ley lines, which again our matrix sciences deliberately don't detect, and the pyramids use these natural energy centers. The pyramids were also built with dimensions, location, materials, and other aspects which utilize a lot of elements of the earth and nature. The pyramids also have astronomical alignment connecting with the stars. There's big confusion about what the purpose of the pyramids. When were they built? How were they built? How have they survived when every other megalithic structure has been annihilated over time? I think all our confusion is a result of deliberate and malicious efforts by matrix energy sabotaging the truth and history in order to protect itself from detection and losing the secretive status it has held for thousands of years. The matrix wants to maintain control, but its days are now numbered. The internet has come in the last 30 years, providing incredible knowledge sharing and communication, which was not possible in the past. The Divine has been guiding me for my whole life, and I've got a load to share for the Divine, and I look forward to seeing a lot more of this out in the open. The Divine has also encouraged me to pursue Paradise for All, a campaign and outcome for improving the planet for everyone. At the moment, these malicious matrix energies have created immense inequality and disempowered certain groups and nations and regions. The matrix has controlled or heavily influenced the distribution and management of money and power throughout the world. The matrix has allowed some nations to thrive through brute force, attacking others and attacking other people on the other side of the planet, pillaging their resources and devastating many people in the process, as well as taking from other countries. Native people, languages and religions have often been pushed out. These are big topics, and I'll discuss them another time. I would also quickly mention that while I talk about Egypt, my family has some connections there. My mum was born in Cairo and my grandparents lived there. While I haven't held any desire or personal interest about past lives, I have a present focus. I was very surprised previously to have flashbacks to those ancient times. I have the website pyramidscausingpolarityproblems.org. Please find this video and others at latest.mat.earth. I thought I'd share some names of great people that you may enjoy. If you want to know more about light language, please check out these excellent people. Always be very cautious with finding a divinely aligned light language teacher, like these here, else you could be learning Matrix Grey light language. I typically have a website about light language at lightlanguage.lv, but following a recent website move, it's not set up. It'll be back soon. These people are all packed with natural wisdom, and they're excellent sources to learn more about nature and living in alignment with nature. These stars close to home provide great information and resources about astronomy and astrology. I used to think astrology was a load of nonsense, but with the right sources, I know it's full of great insights and information. I also realized matrix energies have been working to deliberately confuse and mislead humans and keep us from finding truth. I suspect matrix energies deliberately created lousy horoscopes as a way to give us a bad taste of astrology. Astrology was once respected and treated as a science. I'm guessing it is or was one of the best sciences. The matrix energies don't want us finding our origin and way with the stars. Certainly, the creation and impact of the Egyptian pyramids and the Earth now having an unnatural wobble may have disrupted the purity of this natural data. Did you know about 400 years ago, Galileo established that the Earth and planets orbit the Sun, not vice versa? While this is true, the Matrix Christian Church, an evil that is God, put Galileo under house arrest for the rest of his life. It's apparent God and the Church didn't want humans to know their true origin or the wisdom available from the stars. I'm about 90% of the way through Deborah's excellent new audiobook entitled I Don't Believe in Astrology. This list contains many authors I encourage you to check out. Avi Loeb has a fantastic book called Extraterrestrial. Learning mindfulness has been priceless for improving my clarity of mind and health. It's generally inexpensive or even free to learn. On my website, I have a page called Calm, which describes my experiences with meditation. These people all offer excellent meditation services. Also, Lucas and Hella of Awaken Breathwork provide breathwork practices which include meditations. Breathwork is a surprisingly powerful and transformative tool to heal the past and create optimal performance in the present. These artists are all next level, phenomenal, incredible. Check out their artwork, murals, and merchandise. Lorraine and her incredible team at Namal provide critical services to refugees. They provide training and mentorship and work placements. Namal work with a number of educational institutions, including MIT, which is in Massachusetts, USA. They actually have a program called MIT React, which provides cutting-edge technology training for refugees around the world. I've mentored someone for a couple of years who was a refugee in Africa, and they took part in the MIT React program. This person already had a computer science degree. He's a very smart individual and an exceptional character. Thanks to support from Namal and MIT React, the student graduated the MIT React program and has gone on to gain a position in Europe working for a top company. Namal are turning around people's lives that were unfairly devastated by events far beyond their control and setting them on a new and improved path. Hats off to Lorraine and the team at Namal. They also provide an agency service for web design and development. During this upcoming collapse of the matrix, I feel there's a very strong likelihood there will be interruptions to infrastructure services. This may lead to another scenario like the COVID pandemic when a lot of people needed to work from home. I'm a big fan of remote work. Inspirational People has worked with a dispersed team in 20 countries, and my first web company in 2005 had a small international remote team. Running Remote are devoted to promoting the best solutions and practices for remote work. They're at the forefront of remote work and provide conferences and community. Co-founders Liam Martin and Rob Rawson have authored a book called Running Remote. It's got lots of excellent reviews. Gonzalo Hall is CEO of Nomad X and helps digital nomads, i.e. people that travel the world living in different countries while working online. Nomad X is one of the biggest digital nomad communities in the world. They provide physical communities in Portugal and Cape Verde in Africa. I feel our ancient past has some important lessons and secrets which can help us in the current day, particularly during the collapse of the Matrix. I've enjoyed many great insights about ancient civilizations from these excellent people. Paul Wallace also brings theological knowledge and experience as a former archdeacon of the Anglican Church. These are all successful authors. I've had a particularly keen interest in the work by Matthew Lacroix and hold a sense that his activities are particularly important and relevant to us at this time. The divine guided me to this understanding. I encourage you to check out Matthew's work and support him if you're able to. New development and discoveries may prevent a disaster repeating. This is a mixed list of exceptional people that make brilliant contributions to the world. I was attracted to learn some Swahili and I've had some lessons. On a recent flight, I heard people speaking Amharic, the main language spoken in Ethiopia. It's super weird and illogical as I don't understand the language. But as with Swahili, I felt an instant strong desire to hear more Amharic. I've since listened to some podcasts while having no idea what the conversation is about. It seems to nourish my soul. I listened to a load of Swahili with no clue what was being said. Because of my interest in light language, a year or two ago I listened to about a dozen different national languages, Japanese, German, Swedish, Italian, etc. To date, it's only been the Swahili and the Amharic which have pulled my interest. I look forward to exploring Ethiopia. Now, this house music mix came up in my feed and I just hear sweet, joyful house music. I love this mix. Awesome work by Romeo. Looking at my link here, it seems I should have been more careful with my choice in domain name. I won't read the link out. These are some of my websites. I have a longer list on my homepage at matt.earth, Matt with 3 T's. If you have a question or comment, please respond on YouTube with the hashtag MattEarth or see matt.earth/reply. Thank you. Going against the Matrix isn't much fun. Emily Davidson, seen in the statue below, lost her life as she protested for women's rights. Now, to be clear, the Matrix has established a lot of systems to disempower everyone of any gender, but I want to offer that the Matrix energy, working through religion, groups, and society, implemented patriarchy and other techniques specifically targeting the suppression, repression, and disempowerment of women. I've been battling the Matrix for a lot of my life. In recent times, the Matrix challenges have been increasing as I'm not living a normal life. I'm specifically focused on actions which will collapse the Matrix, and I'm acutely aware Matrix energies don't want me taking these actions. But with divine backing, these invisible and seemingly invincible energies are reduced, and I proceed sharing truths to collapse the Matrix. I had intended to share a section specifically about my learning on why and how the Matrix has been specifically targeting women for many thousands of years. I found what I've learned to be fascinating and feel that a wider understanding of these issues will help us collectively collapse the Matrix. This is super important. I think with new and greater understanding, women have a massive opportunity to correct and collapse the Matrix, which has caused so many problems, and this will be incredible for the entire world. I've also been trying to publish this video for more than a week. Matrix meddling can be very powerful, sneaky, and disruptive. Due to events in the last 24 hours, I'm now abandoning my inclusion of this critical section about the subjugation of women, and I will cover it in another video. There were other edits or additions to which I wanted to include. These will be dropped or included in another video. It'll be good to get the current video out. Enough of Matrix meddling. On the next few pages, you'll see some websites I've got in development. This one is about time not being true, why it isn't and how it will be corrected. And we've got Meat on the Mountain, which is about safety during the collapse of the Matrix. My new podcast, Sunglasses Podcast, coming soon. There's a list of topics here. If you would like to be a podcast guest or have me as a guest on your podcast, please see matt.earth/reply. Why do Matrix energies farm and enslave humans? Is human energy being used to benefit another part of the universe? Use the link matt.in question 2. What are the names of any spiritual leaders that do not accept God? Please include a link. I thought I'd be useful and help this kid carry this sack on my head. It was much heavier than I expected. Now, if you found value in this video and you'd like to shout me a drink or some sunglasses, please see cheers.matt.earth. Or to give crypto, please see crypto.matt.earth. That's Matt with the triple T. Thank you. And all these stills are available for your use. They're public domain. Please feel free to use them as you'd like to. Thank you.